In today's episode of the Pathway Presents podcast, I got a very interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Tyler Cottle, and he's sailing over from the folks over at Eccovia. They're basically helping you to make a difference. It's a leading case management software, and we want to really deep dive into what Eccovia is all about, how Tyler is thinking about growth for the company, and a little bit about his journey as a marketer. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, yeah. So maybe give us a brief insight into, what Eccovia is all about. A 360 bird's eye perspective for people who haven't heard about Eccovia.
Yeah, Eccovia is a software company that deploys end-to-end solutions for health and human service providers. Essentially, we take the biggest social problems in this world: homelessness, domestic assault, national displacement, chronic illness, recovery, several others. We create technology solutions that help the caseworkers and care providers who are addressing these hardships.
Makes a whole lot of sense.
Like you said, we're helping people that need the help from a tech side.
Yep, that makes a whole lot of sense. Now, exactly that, in which sort of organizations or in which contexts would we find then the technology? Is that cities? Is that NGOs? Like, who's bringing in the technology?
Yeah, both of those types of groups. We have governmental groups that are statewide programs. We've got groups that are more local to a city or a region, and then we have nonprofit organizations that focus on one or more programs that we listed.
That makes sense. And who within those organizations will typically be the individual that is, driving sort of or holding the flag high for Eccovia in their organizations? Is that coming from the IT side, more from the operational side? Like, who's a typical, let's say sweet spot user or customer?
Yeah, that's a good question, because it depends on the type of organization we're selling to. If it's like a statewide group, we may have a state coordinator that we're talking to, and their team that focuses on homelessness or whatever issue we're trying to talk to them about. If it's a nonprofit, it may be more of a leadership role, where it's an executive director or a chief of programs, or someone that's focused on compliance or IT. It could be different for every organization.
Gotcha.
Makes it a little bit interesting to sell into these organizations.
That makes sense. Like, I was actually about to ask, how do these folks actually learn about Eccovia? How would you describe their journey? Like, how do they, what are the channels that they guys are walking through in order to get to know you guys?
Yeah, we've got a few channels that usually communicate with us on. If it's a government group, they often know what their funding is going to be used for, and so they'll put out a bid for service, and we've got a good relationship with several bidding services where we know that those bids are coming out, they're a good fit for us, and so we'll propose a solution for these bids. But if it's not a government organization, I think it's regularly you can find us at trade shows, you can find us online with social media and other sites that we're effectively on, and then definitely our website. Our website is our best marketing and sales tool that we have here, and it drives customers in the door regularly for us.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Nice, very good. Now, how do you think about the website? Like, what role do you attribute to the page in itself when it comes to the journey?
Which certain page?
Yeah, just your basically, if we talk about Eccovia.com, how do you think about the role of that, website in their journey? Like, does it play a major role? Would you say it's more like a brochurial experience? How do you think about that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It absolutely takes a major role for a tech company like us. I think we really survive off of our website. If you think about every stage of the buyer journey, from awareness of an issue all the way down to the sale, our website really speaks to each group of buyers, and we try to provide information that is relevant, is something that is helpful for our buyers in each one of their programs that we serve.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say, is sort of something that you've learned over? You mentioned the website playing a crucial role. Is there something that you've learned over the years as a marketer? Any, I don't know, approaches, methods, tools, maybe way of thinking when it comes to driving, results and conversions from the pages? Is there something that you've picked up over the years that you found to be very helpful?
Yeah, just generally, I would say, I mean, I came from a sort of by the book background where I went through a lot of schooling. I graduated with my MBA and learn how you're supposed to market. But I think what I've learned over these years of being a marketer in the field is it's finding creative solutions that people are not usually doing. Those non-best practices are where I find the magic to be. If I find a solution that works for my customers, find a solution that works for my organization, that's great. I don't care if it's by the book or not.
Very good. That makes sense.
As
Cool.
long as
So
it's legal.
you mentioned actually we had a quick chat actually about sort of, obviously your product is really well established in the market, but you also have been launching a new approach, like a new product as well, adding it to the product suite. Maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So our flagship product, Client Track, has been around for almost 40 years now. But we've got a brand new product called Client Insight, where Client Track is a case management tool that helps from boots on the ground, where these case managers are helping individuals and families. Client Insight it's more of a data warehouse tool that helps organize, transfer, transform, extract data, and helps these organizations use their data better. Yeah.
And people who are interested, they can obviously head over to the page, eccovia.com. In the product section, you can find both of them, Track and Insight. You guys can have a look there. So now let's switch gears a little bit and talk about your journey as a marketer, right? There's so much content out there for marketers to keep on educating. You were saying you were going by the books a little bit and then, build on your experience from there. Where do you these days find, quality information that help you as a marketer? Like, what's your go-to places with all the noise out there?
Yeah, that's a really good question. For my job now, we are in a highly regulated industry, and so that's where I look first. Is these government organizations like HUD that have mandates where we have to fit within that box. That first is the place I look for for what I'm needing. But then I do have inspirational sources that I look for. If there's companies that are maybe not exactly like mine, but are doing something really cool in a similar type space, I like to look at what they're doing and say, oh, I like what they're doing, but maybe I can do something a little different, a little bit better in this one aspect. Also newsletters. I have newsletters that come to my inbox regularly, probably a couple dozen a day, that I go and look for articles that match the needs that I'm needing for that day or for that week. I find that there's enough information out there that helps really inspire our efforts here.
Makes sense. As we slowly sort of approaching the end of the interview, we'd have some rapid fire questions to get to know you and your journey a little bit better. Are you ready for those?
Shoot, let's do it.
What is the last book that you read?
Ooh, the last book that I read, I've got it right here with me. It is called The Ultimate Competitive Advantage. It's by Sean Moon and Sue Douglas.
Mm-hmm. What's one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
We're always focused on growth. The way that I see growth here too is not just in the short term. We're looking at the growth this year, but we're also looking at sustainable growth for the next year, 2, 3 years, 10 years down the road. That's something we're always going to be focused on here.
Mm-hmm. If there would be no boundaries in technology, right? You have a magic wand. What's the one thing that you would fix for your role as a marketer?
If I had a magic wand, probably an easy button. Give me a button that gives me unlimited leads and ways to talk to them. That would be really helpful. But more realistically, I would love to see more AI in marketing tools that can help kind of suggest content changes and little things that may take some time and effort off my plate. Yeah.
Very cool. Very last question. If we do a little bit of time travel and we go back to the days of Weber University, right? You're heading out of formal education into the world of business and marketing. What's the one advice you would give yourself for your journey as a marketer?
Yeah. Kind of going back to an earlier comment, I think looking for those creative solutions. And not everything has to be by the book that they teach you in business school. Some of it is just you got to learn and really think about your clients first. What can help your clients? What can help you succeed with them? Put yourself in their shoes and find a good solution that works.
Very cool. Tyler, really appreciate you took the time with us today to be guest on Pathmonk Presents. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be forgetting all that we discussed about Eccovia, what's the one thing people should remember?
If there's one thing, it's that we help people that want to help people. Really, it's the cause that drives us here. It's making sure that these people that are underserved are being served. That's the one thing I'd say.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathmonk Presents.
Thank you.